live already. We will be getting started shortly. Hey, Bree.
CMPRADIO.net. This is Stimulating Thursdays with Uncle P Nee, and we're in the building. This is the first show.
The very first show.
I want to introduce you to my lovely host, my co-host, my companion on this voyage of Stimulating Thursdays. Miss Ranisha Seaton.
The one and only.
I wish I had.
In the flesh.
We'll have claps next week. We'll have claps and all that good stuff.
We need claps for both of us.
And bomb drop-ins.
All of that.
Bird drop-ins and pigeon drop. We'll have.
I don't think y'all ready for Uncle P Nee.
I don't think they are.
We in here.
No, we're in here. We're excited. I know I'm excited, right? I've been trying to get you up here for a long time, right? To do something. We did it. A little something about 2-3 weeks ago.
Yes.
Right. I think it was good. It was that introduction and sit back and thinking like, oh man, we can do this.
Started something great.
Because we got a lot to say.
A lot to say.
Right. A whole lot to say.
On a Stimulating Thursday.
Stimulating Thursdays, trying to help you on your way to a happy ending.
Reach your climax in life.
I want to know how people feel about that topic, right? About that title.
That title.
Because it's a lot.
Tagline.
Stimulating Thursdays. Like, what they about to talk about? Climaxes and all that good stuff.
And happy endings.
What
was the first thing that came to your mind when you read the headline? Stimulating Thursdays.
What they about to talk about?
Hoping you reach a climax in life.
I know. My brother Dante was like, "Oh, we doing this. We gonna do it early.
Midday, midweek. Happy ending.
And then midday too. On Thursdays, you get your midday happy ending. It's like, yo, what they about to talk about? But I think it's that catch line, right? And you really should be looking for your climax in life, right? You really should be looking for that euphoria in life when you wake up in the morning and have that happiness about wanting to start your day. I'm trying to get to the point where I'm happy about waking up at 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah, I'm at 5:30.
You at 5:30?
I'm at 5:30.
Maybe I need to take it back an hour and wake up at 5:30. 4:30, I'll sit there, I get my little 45-minute of meditation and get to think about, all right, what do I have to do?
You meditate when you wake up?
Yeah, I gotta get to it, right?
What are you doing when you wake up in the morning?
I gotta get to it.
We want to hear from you. Right, Pierre is meditating when he
I go in the other room, got this other room over here, and I sit in there and I shut the door and I just think about the things that I want to accomplish throughout the day. Guess what happens? None of it gets done because something else happens, right? But I'm trying to learn how to control those outer events, right?
It's all about control, I guess, because it won't happen unless you just become lazy about it. Like, I'll give, for example, yesterday, I woke up this morning and I said to myself, I have to email at least 20 prospects before the night is over, before the day is over.
Prospects.
So basically, everyone don't know. We didn't even introduce ourselves. No.
I said,
well, I mean, it ain't pimping if you got it.
Definitely ain't.
So, okay, so let me introduce myself because that's what we forgot to do. I am Ranisha Seaton. I am a motivational speaker. I am the CEO of the I Am organization. I am a playwright/director. I was able to add that to my title.
Go ahead.
Did I tell you that I was an author?
I'm an author. She got her book. Yeah.
She got the book, you know.
The Blossoming of Me.
The Blossoming of Me.
I'm about to write a book.
So basically, as a motivational speaker, I have to seek prospects.
Okay.
So you can't expect for everyone to come to you. You gotta get out there and do the work and go to them.
You need some motivation?
Exactly.
That's what you gotta say?
Exactly.
I need a letter like that.
So I created a template for success. And so with this template, I have my prospects, the people that I'm going to reach out to, how I'm going to follow up with them, how I'm going to close the deal, and X, Y, and Z. So yesterday, I had to send at least 20 prospects before the night was out, but 200 before the week ends. And this is every single week.
Wow.
So yesterday, I had a trying week, first off. I had a very, very trying week. And yesterday was just a lot going on, and I'm like, I didn't get to my prospects, but it was about 9 p.m., and I'm like, I need to get ready to go to sleep. But I was dead tired, but I made sure I got every last single prospect out. Honestly, I got more than 20 out. I got like 25 prospects out. So I exceeded the expectations.
But you don't put that on the next day and say, now I only got to get 15. You still have the next day saying 20 has to be
exactly
done. So if I can get more done, I will. But if I can't, I will stop at 20, right? And 20 has to be done.
Right,
okay.
exactly.
All right, okay. That's awesome. That's
So
awesome. So you actually exceeded your expectations for the day, but just your expectations for the next day are still high.
it's still high.
Right. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's basically like, even though some things come and disrupt our day, we still got to make that time, even if it's staying up and almost
I'm learning how to do that. I got a lot of different tunnels into Pierre. Right. So for those that don't know, I'm Uncle P. Uncle P Motivator. I'm just now starting to be a motivational speaker, so I'm working on a lot of that.
Shout out to that.
Right. Because a lot of people say, man, listen, like I'm like a therapist. So I'm more like the hood therapist, right?
The hood therapist.
The hood therapist, right? Because I'm understanding to everything that ails you, right? And saying that sometimes we carry our burdens for way too long. They weigh us down. They don't allow us to float. And to become what you need to become in life, you need to be able to float. Because you gotta go, you gotta float over some shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. You got to be like, all right, yeah, my feet not touching the ground. It's not to say you're above something or you're what's the word I'm looking for? Nonchalant about certain things. It's just that I can't allow too much to weigh me down. So with me, it's learning how to do all the things that you already figured out how to do. To put everything in a place and say, all right, this is how I'm going to do this. This is how I'm going to do this. So this is my first month of doing it. Right. I've been doing some lives on IG, back and forth. I done had a drink where I done cried and I had a drink where I'm being me. And I think it's mainly, the motivation is for me more than anything, but it could be for someone else that might be going through the same thing. I think so. Your story is the most important thing when you're a motivational speaker. I listen to a lot of people. I listen to Les Brown, and he mainly talks about himself and what he went through. Right? I listen to Wallow. I listen to there's a couple other people out there. I ain't gonna drop too many names because you ain't really gonna check yet. But anyway. And that's how it looks, right? It looks like we should say the things that we feel and what we experience, because experience is the best teacher.
Exactly.
Right. So, I'm learning. Like I said, I wake up in the morning, I'm meditating, I'm closing my eyes, and I'm thinking, envisioning the things that I want the most, right? And it really is peace and understanding, right? So I'm working on that, right? I'm seeking to understand so that I can be understood.
Give me some. That was a good gem there.
Yeah.
So we're here on this beautiful Thursday, getting ready to stimulate your mind.
Yes.
Helping you reach your climax in life. And, of course, we're going to give you that happy ending of the day. So basically how we're going to start off, we're going to talk about networking and how networking is important for your success in life. And with this talking about networking, we're just going to get into a little bit about how we actually met each other and how we're able to sit here today and give you stimulating Thursdays on this beautiful Thursday. So do you want to start?
So the story goes like this, right? I'm sitting in the station, and this is how important networking is. The station wouldn't be here if I didn't network and move into different rooms with different people. I bounced my idea off several people. So the station wouldn't be here without networking, right? I walked inside of a building that was being rehabbed by two of my closest friends, and they said, yo, ain't you doing something? Yo, you should focus on that. You should make some sacrifices to get to that. Shout out to Kenneth Picasso Hunt and Damien I Do Tattoos Parsons, man, for sitting down with me when I wanted to put this together and really saying, listen, this is what you need to do, bro. You know what I mean? So networking. So fast forward, I'm in the station, I'm sitting down, and I'm listening to me and Kev are talking. Again, networking with Kev and the things that he's able to do. Shout out to Yes Guy, right? And sitting there, and he's like, yeah, I'm about to do this joint for Ranisha Seaton. I said, who that? He was like, oh man, she awesome, man. She got an awesome story to tell. Right. She got an awesome, and he said, she got an awesome story to tell, bro. You got to sit down, you got to go back and forth. I'm like, all right, cool. I let that happen. I get this phone call from Kenny, and Kenny like, yo, I got somebody you need to talk to. I'm like, who? He like, just come down here. And at that point, when Kenny say, yo, you got somebody I need to talk to, she'll tell you I was there in about 3, 4, 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Right? Like, all right, let me pull up. And we sit there and we talking and I'm hearing their story and I'm like, wow, this is amazing. You got to come to the radio station and you got to tell people what this is, right? Because it's her believing in herself, and that's really the key to life, right? You got to believe in yourself, right? We all got our story. We all going through our things, but at some point you got to say, yo, I can make it through this. I can push through this. This isn't too heavy for me to carry. And at that moment, that's what you were going through.
Yes.
So networking brought me to her and to her front door and to listen to her story. Networking.
That's how I played out.
Right. That's how I play. For me, that's how I play. That was
All right,
simple.
so
You know, females always go, oh yeah, because yeah. So
you know, I gotta add a little bit of extra juice
add
on
spice,
it.
add
Let me
the
add it
spice.
on there. So
Add the spice.
I was down at the art gallery one day purchasing a painting from Kenny. Shout out to Kenny. If you haven't got an art monster or had his signature on a piece of paint in your house, I'm telling you, you better get it.
You're missing out.
You better get it. If you want to invest in something, you better invest in him because he's going places. But anyway, I'm sitting there and he's like, you know what? My homie got the radio station. I think you need to meet him. I'm like, well, who is he?
Right.
So, you know, he calls Pierre and say, yo, P, I want you to come meet somebody. And P's on the other end of the phone like, who is he? Like, man, don't worry about who it is. Just get down here. Now, he did say that he showed up in like 5 minutes, but I would even say it was less than that because you would have thought that he was just sitting outside of the art gallery just waiting for a phone call.
No.
So he come in there or whatever, and he sizing me up like, I don't know who this girl is, but what's she about?
What's she about?
He says to me out his mouth, okay, hey, I don't be bringing people on the radio that can't come, that don't have nothing to talk about on the radio, so what you got to talk about?
What you got to talk about, right?
I said, oh, okay. I see what's going on here. So I got Kenny on one side, I got Pierre on the other side, and I feel like I'm cornered this. So I'm like, I'm about to give him this work. I'm about to let him know. So I give him a rundown on my life and, you know, basically how I was coming out, how I had a story to tell, and basically, you know, I'm a motivational speaker. And so he was like, all right, cool, we'll come out to the radio station. You know, we're going to set something up.
Now, when I say set something up, that means it takes both of us to work on that, right?
So, for a minute, I didn't get to the station, right?
She definitely did.
But when I had that coming out, the Naked Truth picture, and I don't forget you forgot about that one.
The Naked Truth
picture, right? I was completely nude and I had writing all over my body, but it still was tasteful.
Right.
And Pierre was like, oh, wait a minute, what the heck is going on?
I said, this what you out here doing? I can't get a call. We can't set up an interview. You out here butt naked on the joint talking to people. Got writings all on the side of you. I still got the pictures, bro. But
I still got the pictures too.
I know you should.
Listen, so, you know, we got up there and, you know, this is what Not Fatigue was it the morning meeting? It was at night or something, right?
No, this is when me and Naf was like, man, we gonna talk all day, night, day, whenever. If there's somebody we need to talk to, we gonna pull them in. What was your schedule? You were working at the time, so you couldn't make the morning meeting. So he was like, you know what? And this is what we gonna do. We gonna do a night show. Let's talk. And at that point, it was let's talk. It wasn't a morning meeting yet. It was still early in
the making for CMP.
Right. It was baby. Man, we was in the first room. Right. I remember that interview, bro. Growth.
Listen,
it's amazing, man. It's amazing.
CMP definitely has evolved since then, and
we ain't done
you
yet.
know, myself as well.
Next week it's gonna be a whole different way we doing things. Watch, cause that's just how they go.
But you know, we
hang on, I need to go to the gym.
we officially got together and we, you know, talked about me on the station and we laughed and we joked, and from there it was just a connection. You know how you can just feel the aura of good people, and I
don't
felt
say that
like
to now because people will tell you that ain't me, right? Oh, he ain't good.
Listen, but I ain't worried about what everybody else says.
I
know you. It ain't about what anybody else says.
He good to me.
Wrong,
right,
okay?
right. She good to me.
Listen, we ain't gonna throw dirt on nobody's name, okay? So y'all do that chuckle for anybody that's like a good person. So, you know, P just had a good aura about him, and just from that, it was always love every time I seen him. He was being honored at an event, and I had to speak on leadership, and he was just talking about his leadership in the community of the city, and just, you know, how he came a long way. And I was just like, you know, I was really hyped for him, like, yes, P is in the building. Right. But, just networking,
and
basically.
She gave that speech, and I took so much away from it, like, there's so much more I could be doing. Right, and listen, whenever someone is building something that has never been built before. It's trying, right? They want to quit
trial and error
every day, and it's trial and error, right? I made this mistake, I messed up here. I'm man enough to say, all right, man, maybe I bit off a little bit more than I can chew. Maybe I should have did it differently. But when it comes down to a dream, right, and what you see, you got to be willing. I say it all the time. You got to be willing to sacrifice for your dream to submit to you, right? If we're not sacrificing for it, then it's no way it's going to break or budge for you. So listening to her talk, it was like, yo, man, this is amazing. She sound like I'll be talking to myself every day, right? And I text her and I said, Ranisha, I really needed that.
You know what,
right?
you did text
I said I needed that. Do you have that speech? Because I want to read it every morning. And she was like, I just be going off the fly. It just be coming out my heart. I don't be writing nothing down. I said, oh shit,
I write everything down.
Well, you told me you ain't write it down, so you must ain't want me to have it. But I'm like, she was like, I just be going off my heart. It just be coming out of me. I don't know what it is, B. I don't remember. What did I say? I said, you know what you said, because I looked at you when you said it. And I said,
I looked at you when you said it.
And then, but you have this aura when you're up there, right? Because I'm going to tell you something about me. I can't get up there in front of a group of people. And I say can't, and I need to take can out, but it's like, I know I'll be done poop myself sitting up there.
So you're saying you know your limitations?
And I don't even really think it's a limitation. I think I invented it myself. I've always had stage fright. Like Chester High talent show, I was supposed to be in the joint. I was like, nah, man, I ain't even doing that, right? Because I'm just in front of a group of people, I clam up. Now, I might got a lot to say, just me and you. We'll have an awesome conversation. Like, no, P, you need to do this, you need to do that, and I can't do it. I can't even make a live video with somebody else in the other room watching.
See, believe it or not, because I get on any stage or get in front of any crowd and I speak, but I'm always nervous. Every single time. I always got the jittery.
So I need to accept it.
Accept it, yeah.
Okay, all right, let me accept it.
But listen, when it's true,
right,
that feeling, that initial feeling, that nervousness end up leaving.
Right. Okay.
Yep, it ended up leaving. So you can do it. You Uncle P the motivator. You think you're just gonna be motivating on
IG?
On IG? That's what I thought.
Right.
Until Jimmy was like, sis, we
right.
giving you the spot to do it.
Right.
I didn't think that I was gonna be in front of an audience. Again, networking.
It's important.
It's not about what you know. It's about who you know.
And people don't understand that, right? Because we come from a place where I guess introducing yourself to someone and meeting new people is difficult and challenging, right? Because I guess the room that we're in is so comfortable, right? So it's like, I gotta go into this new room. I might not be the prettiest. I might not be the tallest, the smartest, the whatever. And it's like, well, you get a chance to learn. Walking into a new room opens up doors for new possibilities. So networking is extremely important. Listen, I have to network with people that own radio stations or that do things like this. I'm in a group for this program that I use, and I have to ask questions of people that have been doing this for 5 to 10 years and figuring it out, and they don't have a problem with sharing that information. And we don't come from an environment where information is shared readily. Right? Because people keep it. Oh, how you do this? Or how you? Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. I'm not telling you because you're about to take my position.
See, and the crazy part about that is what's for you is going to be for you, no matter who tries to stand in the way of it by not sharing information, right? So it's like going back to networking. If you're around somebody, if I'm around you all the time and I'm trying to get to the next level and I know you got the information but you don't want to give it to me, I now have to network and go get it from someone else who doesn't see me as a threat, who's not intimidated by me, right? And networking can be scary.
It can be.
Networking can be very frightening because you don't know how the person is going to accept you. You create thoughts in your mind and you feel like you're not enough. You say, you know what, this person have a title that I don't have. You know, you're going through all these different
money that I don't have.
Exactly.
Yeah,
am I better than this person? This person
right.
better than me? And you know what, at the end of the day, one of the things that I live by, the rule that I live by, is that you're not above anyone or beneath anyone, because at any given moment, your circumstance can change. So we have to treat everyone with the same amount of respect, because trust me, baby, you never know when you may need that person. So, you know, the networking is key. Networking is the key for success. It don't matter how much money you have. I can give you so many stories about how I didn't have money on hand, but because of my circle, because of my networking circle, and because of my ability to just get myself out there and just ask freely and not care about judgment, so many things were able to fall into my lap, and you know,
anybody that know me here at the station know I hate to ask for money, man. And that might be just my upbringing, because I was always the person.
No, it's hard, because I hate it too.
Listen, and the one thing I would rather ask for forgiveness than permission. Mm-hmm. So that's how I lived most of my life, right? I'm not going to ask you, can I have? I'm going to take it, right? Mm-hmm. And then you're going to say, yo, do you take it? I'm like, yeah, I took it. I'm sorry. You feel me? Forgive me. You feel me? For, you know, I have sinned, but that's just the way I work. So now with the radio station, you know, we sit and we say, all right, man, listen, we got a fundraiser. We're asking people, you know, we did this, right? The calendar. This is the entrepreneur calendar for people that can see it. Chester's entrepreneurs in there, right? And
Chester has so many entrepreneurs.
We said last year, we like, all right, let's get this 2020 vision calendar. I think it was a play on words, seeing clearly, it's the vision, right? Getting things out of our way. So all of these businesses come together, get your picture in the calendar and promote it. In the back of the calendar, you pick a certain day of the year, you come up to the radio station, you talk about your brand, you talk about your business, you get people to support your brand on this day. It was a great idea, but I ran into so many loopholes and bad business practices. I got the printer, couldn't find him. He dipped off on me. I don't know where he is to this day. Shout out to Dupreece Northern and Northern Marketing, because she made it up for me.
Hey, Dupreece.
She got it together. She put it together. It's an excellent calendar. And guess what? We're going to do it again. But we still got these calendars for sale. If you're in the calendar, they're $10. You feel me? Because we got to get that money back so we can do it again. And if you're not in the calendar, they're $20. Bang. Wub says 15. She says $15. It's funny when it's her stuff, it's $1 million. But when I'm selling something, it's $15. But anyway, CMPRADIO.net. But again, that's that part of me not wanting to reach out. I would have gave them calendars away and lost out on $500, and the station broke and can't pay this and can't do that. And it's like, no, P, like, you paid the original bull. He dipped out on you. That's business. Now you learn. Should have went to Dupreece in the beginning. If you know better, you do better.
Yeah, that's it. So it's all teachable moments.
So networking, right, put me in a place where I know Dupreece. And I sit down with Dupreece, and now Dupreece handles everything I got to do.
See,
right?
networking.
I know what she's capable of. Her work is on time. It's impeccable. It's spot on. And she does a lot of the stuff. I send her the stuff, and she'll put it together. So that's extremely important to have those types of people around you that are capable of working out your vision, right? Because if you have vision, 9 times out of 10, you don't have direction. So you got to have people around you.
I said, I made a post, was it 2 days ago? It said, make room for your vision, and the universe will make room for you. And with that being said, whatever it is that you want to do, once you put your foot forward to do so, the universe is going to put the people in your path. At that point, you have to just be ready to receive it. And you can't always have your guard up. See, sometimes, it was a story where a man who cried for help, please, Lord, please, God, help me. And someone came past him with a boat and was like, hey, do you need any help? And somebody else told me this story. Okay, and then he said, no, I'm okay, I'm waiting on God. Somebody else came past, do you need any help? No, okay, I'm okay, I'm waiting on God. Then someone else came. No, I'm okay, I'm waiting on God. He ended up dying. But the point that I'm trying to make is, once you make room for that, once you pray about it, once you affirm it, the universe is going to bring all those things to you. You just have to be able to put your guard down to accept it. What you ask for is right there. So, and networking plays a major part in our life, whether you want to build a business, whether you want to get a new job, whether you need someone to talk to at your time of need or whatever it is, because we all need somebody. We are nothing alone.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if you got a job this year, it was because the manager said yes. If you was down on your luck and
so you telling people they're not self-made?
Am I telling them that they're not self-made?
It's okay to say yes, you are.
Yeah,
you are. That's what you basically
Because
said.
we're not self-made. We all need somebody.
We all need somebody.
We all need somebody. Trust me, I wouldn't be Ranisha Seaton, a motivational speaker, if no one was willing to give a listening ear to be motivated.
I had asked somebody who shall remain nameless, who I absolutely thought was going to say, damn right I'm self-made, bro. He said, nah. He said, no. It's like people taught me how to read contracts so I could protect myself. People taught me how to invest my money so I could help myself. People taught me how to hone my craft so I can do what I'm doing right now. He's like, man, anybody tell you they self-made, they lying.
They lying.
I don't care if you was out there moving work. You had to connect.
Listen, if you're going on YouTube trying to find the right answers, you're not self-made.
No, you're not.
Like,
YouTube University, and there are some good answers on YouTube. Absolutely. I figured out yesterday how to work some new equipment via YouTube. So, you know, things happen, man.
Listen, let me tell you this, because I'm going to talk about my week, and I'm only going to talk about my week just because I need to release. And we stimulating minds on Thursday.
Right,
so while we're stimulating you, we're also getting stimulated as well. Trust and believe, when we're giving out motivation, sometimes we need it ourselves. So this week, I left out the house Monday morning. 15 minutes after I left out, I got a phone call from my kids. Okay. Now, my kids leaves out about 20 minutes or so after I leave out. So 15 minutes after I leave out, y'all supposed to be leaving out the house, but yeah, I get a phone call from my son crying saying him and my daughter was fighting. Okay, so they in the house fighting. And one thing led to another, ended up busting a pipe in the wall. So now my basement is flooded, my bathroom is flooded.
What were your kids fighting with?
Well, they were fighting in the bathroom. And honestly pushed John into the shower knob. And when she pushed him, it was some force and bust the pipe inside the wall.
Damn, they be going at it.
I said, oh, y'all were really angry.
We got to get honesty in the boxing. Johnny Slow, where you at, man? Johnny Slow, where you at? Report to this live, man.
So, here I am. Like right now, as of today, currently, we're still with Joe Winter inside the house because we had to turn the main valve off. And a lot of people don't know, but I own my home, so it ain't no landlord. You gotta figure it out, okay? I've been to Home Depot. I was at Home Depot like 5 or 6 times yesterday, just trying to find the right tools because I'm gonna figure this out.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna figure this out, but I ain't self-made because I went right on YouTube and figured out what the manifold was and the column and all of that. We gonna figure it out. I had to bust the wall open.
Wow. So now you gotta learn how to lay drywall.
Listen, but I ain't self-made though.
That's what I'm talking about.
I networked with the guy Bob off of YouTube. Right. And he gave me a nice little video on how to get it done. Absolutely. We're gonna have some water by the end of the day or tomorrow.
But you know what's crazy? So if there's a contractor out there that wants to help Ronisha Seaton, right? Just by overseeing the job to make sure it's done right. That wouldn't be a bad idea. I would say John LeBron. You know what I mean? He's capable of those types of things. But if he has someone that he can mention and just to oversee it, right? You don't have to do the work. She says she's willing to buy all the stuff and do the stuff herself, but just to oversee it to make sure it's done right. That way she doesn't have to call anybody else.
I said so many key things, and you just gave a plug and you just asked, but that's what that is. Well, that's networking.
It's always
the topic are, you know.
I like to put people in places to help one another, right? I like to be able to, and that's what the radio station was really about. I saw so many people doing so many great things in the city of Chester, my city. This 19013, this orange and black. This city is full of amazing, talented people, right? And it's just that we're amazing and talented in our corner. And if we bring all that amazing talent together,
go ahead.
It's about to die. If we bring all that talent together, we can have so much more, right? So to increase the value of our community, we need to increase the value of the individuals inside of it. You know, it's a lot going on in the city right now. You know, yesterday, a 79-year-old man was shot and killed. Right?
In the city?
In the city. And they're actually looking for the suspect. I'm gonna say suspect, right? He's 14 years old.
Oh no.
Right? And we think about this community and we think about the things that we need to do. And Will was live earlier and she said you can't really blame the parents. And I always say, then who do we blame, right? And when I say that, it's just to get the answer, right? Just for someone to say who's to blame, and then I say, nah, we're all to blame. All of us, everybody that calls this place home, this whole village is to blame for the things that our children have gone through. There are good men out here in the city. Shout out to Coach Dante Bell, right? Shout out to every man in the city that's making positive moves to talk to children, every woman in the city that's making positive moves to talk to the women, the young ladies in the city, to hold their standards a little bit higher so you don't accept the riffraff. Because listen, I say it all the time, the women, right? They're the backbone and the ribs of the community. If they stand up straight, then there are certain things that just won't slide. There are certain things that will not be allowed. If I got into a car yesterday and Megan Thee Stallion got a song, B-I-T-C-H, that's what she want to be called. And how many young ladies are singing that song, so when a young man comes up to you and calls you that name, you can't even be offended.
Mad at him.
You can't even be mad. So now you set the standard for how he's going to approach every woman, and that brings down what he needs to do. So if you set your standards low, then of course we're going to have the worst possible things happening in our community. But if you raise those standards and you raise what you expect from someone, they're not going to come in and give you nothing. They're going to come and add value to whatever you're doing. So if I raise the standard in the radio station, guess what? Everybody got to step up.
Exactly.
Ain't no more just popping up and doing whatever you want. Like this, these are the standards they've been raised. So either step up or step off.
Step up or step off.
So my condolences is to both families, right?
Absolutely.
Right? To the grandfather who was a father, a grandfather, an uncle, a provider, a nurturer, a builder, a creator, right? My condolences to his family. To the young man whose life was just starting, right? Who was just a little bit lost, right? Clouded vision, right? At 14 years old, you don't know what's going on in the world. And I know how it feels to be a 14-year-old angry young man. I know what it feels like to put that gun in your hand for the first time. I know the power that that gun brings to you, right? The ability not to have to say, all right, that's cool. The ability to buck the whole situation and tear everything up. But he's lost. So I can't blame his parents. Individually, I gotta blame the community. Because somebody put that gun in his hand. I know it wasn't his father. It wasn't his mother. I will hope that it wasn't his mother or his father. You know what I'm saying? So somebody put that gun in his hand. Somebody told him to go ahead and pull the trigger. So I blame the community. I blame everybody in it that's not doing anything. Everybody in it that accepts the same old, but complains when it affects them. And that's Uncle P, right? That's what I have to say about that. But that takes us back to that networking situation. There's good networking and there's bad networking.
So now we're talking about networking. I just want to get into a little bit of how this show is going to go. Now, we talked about networking and we all about networking. So let me bring into this. A lot of people, I told you guys earlier, let me repeat you again, that I am an author. So I have a book here titled The Blossoming of Me. And one of the things that I'll bring to this segment every Thursday is learning about other local authors. So if you know anyone out here that is an author who would like me to take a gem out of their book, because what I'll do is I'll take a gem and then I'll ask you, what does it mean to you? And then I'll give you my version of what that line in that person's book meant to them. So basically, of course, because this is our first time when we introduce ourselves, I'm just going to do my book.
Oh, that's crazy.
I'm going to do my book.
I'm going to write a book.
If you don't know any authors and you recommend a good book, please let me know so that I can get a hold of it and read it, find a line in there, and, basically let you know. So with that being said, I'm just going to go in here and find a line.
I'm writing a book.
I find a line, and you tell me what this line means to you off the top. I should have been ready for this, right?
Yup, that's usually what happens.
Okay, so here we go. Here we go, right here where we at. Okie dokie. When receiving a position at Wells Fargo, I made a promise to myself to take advantage of all opportunities and allow my work ethic to be bigger than my position. So when you hear that your work ethic should be bigger than your position, what does that mean to you? And anyone can chime in. You can comment. How else can they reach us?
That's it.
Just comment?
Yeah, just by comment.
There's no line.
You want something else?
I thought maybe y'all could call
it. You want the phone
line?
line? We'll have a phone line next time we come in. We'll have a phone line. I promise you we'll have a phone line.
So you can comment. and just say what that means to you. And even if you don't know what it means to you, that's okay. Just let it sink in. Because I know we all got jobs, right? And I know we want to elevate in our jobs. And some people don't even want to be on a job for forever.
So I got the perfect example. Shout out to Coach. I'm going to keep saying Coach Adante Bell, right? Because I believe that his heart and the way he's going about doing his job as a football coach for the Chester Clippers, he goes above. He goes
above and beyond.
So we had a couple shootings and we lost two young men that played for the football team.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He took it upon himself to get a van now and travel and pick the students up from practice and everything. So the way he talks to the young men, the way he motivates them, the way he inspires them, the way he was on the line, right? The way he holds them accountable, right? Is and I went to a practice this year and I knew they were going to have a great season. It was one of the greatest seasons that the Clippers have ever had, right? Could it have been better? Absolutely, right? But that's a work in progress. They're working on that. But it was a great season, right? And to see how the student, I mean, he was whispering, he wasn't yelling. Most football coaches, they yelling, they screaming, they hollering. He wasn't doing none of that. And the kids were attentive. Their heads were up. They were looking at him. They were paying attention to what he was saying. They were catching it, not releasing it, right? And you go to most football practices and the coaches yelling, didn't I tell you? And give me 20. And it wasn't like that. Like everybody was on him. So he exudes that example to me of a person that works beyond. They allow their work ethic to go beyond their title, right? And I think that's important because no matter who you are, as this president that we had, if he lived like that, we would be in a better position. But see, he's just happy to have a title, and he's like, I can do whatever I want because of the title. So I believe that you should always work beyond whatever your title is, right? You got people, the CEO of a company, the janitor, right? I respect everybody from the janitor to the CEO, but you need to work beyond your title because that's what's next in line for you.
I remember when I was in elementary school, it was this janitor, and I won't say his name, but he would come behind all the kids and clean up afterwards, but he didn't just clean, he actually made real life connections with the students. Right. So it was, hey, everybody knew him, what's going on, you being good, you being cool, and the next thing you know, he went from a janitor to actually someone,
a climate control specialist, right? Because he had a relationship with
the children. Right. It wasn't just like I'm just coming here to clean up after these bad behind kids and I'm going home. He came, he did his job, and then he went above his job so that he built a relationship with the kids to help them out in situations where maybe other staff couldn't do it
or didn't want to do it.
Yep.
See, so he walked in knowing who he was. I'm not a janitor, right? I'm gonna connect with these children because he saw a gap there. He saw something that was missing, and I'm saying the same thing about our community right now. We have that gap, and people have to stand in that gap to connect those bridges. You have to in this community, right? Because it's being done in other communities. So we have to be those people that stand in. I'm gonna stand in the gap, and I'm gonna say, listen, I'm connecting this side to that side, right? Use me as a bridge, right? Go back and forth, but make sure you're bringing good energy to the other side, so the other side can bring good energy, so someone else can stand next to me, and then we can fill this gap up because we're what we need, right? You have to be the change that you want to see. Period. It can't go another kind of way.
I say you start with the man in the mirror.
I mean, that's how it works. It doesn't work any other kind of way. People say, man, things will never get better. Then that means you don't want things to get better.
Yep.
You're not willing to sacrifice and what you put out there in the universe, right?
Exactly.
These kids. No, it's the adults, right? It's the adults that stepped away from being the guiding force in the kid's life, right? So we're all to blame for everything that happens, and we can't blame just one person. That individual, that's where he was at that time when he did what he did. So let's just try to be understanding, man, and come together as a community. We have to.
Yeah, the important part for me about understanding is stop allowing society to come up with an image of someone. Create your own image yourself. I think I said this before when we were talking about taking ownership of your actions.
Absolutely.
Society has placed so many labels on our children, on us, you know what I mean, on the world as a whole. And a lot of people look at it through the lenses of society, but not who that person actually is, right? So we all have a past and we all have a present. But in order to be able to come into my present with me, you have to be able to understand my past. But if you keep judging me through the lens of society, you would never get down to the root of the when, where, how, and why with me. And if you can't get to that part, then you can't help me foresee my, you know what I mean, my future. You can't help me reveal some stuff to myself. Because if you understand, okay, I'll just say this. When I was younger, I lived in a household that wasn't clean. It wasn't clean at all. It was really jacked up. So now as an adult, I get antsy when my house is out of order. So I don't have OCD where it's like, oh no, but if I see the dishes almost piled up, it triggers me. It takes me back to that point where I was a child, right? Now, that's something that you would have to know about me to understand, like, you know what, this is a trigger point for her, let's get this together, but not to be like, oh, if she snaps, she's just crazy, because it's a reason for everything.
It's a reason for your snapping.
It's a reason for everything. So, you know, that's the part that I just want to add to it. We can't allow society to keep labeling our youth, and we just go ahead and brand them with that label for the rest of their lives, because listen, you have a past, I have a past, we have a past, and we all were young before too, and we all made mistakes. And not only that, we all have had that moment where we want to try to figure things out on our own. And that figuring out may have led us to a road that we shouldn't have went down. So don't just write off our youth, and don't just be like, you know what, with his mom or his dad, or he shouldn't have been doing this or he shouldn't have been doing that. Listen, I'm sure his intent wasn't to hurt or harm or kill or put anyone in a position, you know what I mean, where the outcome is what it is. You know, the kid is, I'm sure, hurting right now and regretting everything. Now, I'm not saying that some people just aren't wicked, because you do have wicked people in the world, but I want to say, like, you know, dig deep and try to figure out. Yeah, exactly.
You want to get a benefit of the doubt.
Don't just write them straight off.
You don't want to write them straight off, and you'll hear people on a couple of those posts. Man, it was just like, yo, all right, life for a life. It's like, man, like this man this young man hasn't even begun to live. Yes, he did take a life, right? A life that meant so much to so many people, and it's hard to sit here now while it's fresh and say, you know, he deserves this, he deserves to go to jail. He does deserve to be punished for what he did. He does deserve to sit down, but he also, like everybody, deserves a second chance. It's not always up to us to say no, right? It's up to us to listen and understand. And I think that's what we need to start doing, right? So, you know, yeah, it's hard. I look at my son, he's 13 years old. I'm like, if that was my son, how would I feel? I'm turning you in, bro. Like, we're not about to sit here and have that conversation. We're going to the police station. We get a lawyer, we go to the police station, and you tell them what happened, and we deal with that, whatever the outcome is going to be. And it's hard. It's hard because this community deals with that on a daily basis. And it's like, how do we fix it? And I said it again, we have to change the way we look at things. We have to change the way we accept things, and we have to raise our standards, completely raise our standards. This is not good. This is not acceptable. From the music we hear to the way we talk to each other, to the way we appreciate each other, all of our standards have to be raised. That's the only way we're going to change anything. It's not just going to happen out of nowhere. The way we celebrate each other, the way we work with each other, the way we network with each other, the way we build. And like I said, it's bad networking and good networking. Listen, on the other side, it's like there's no rules. On the bad side, on the good side, it's like we follow all the rules, right? And they say it all the time, laws are for the people, or for the people that follow them. You know, there are no laws over here. So we have to step up as a community, because it's gonna continue to go. And then when it's at your front door, it's like, all right, we need to change it. And we should have changed it 20 years ago. We should have changed the way we handled everybody and the way we talked to everybody 20 years ago. We can go back that far. 20 years ago was 2000. It wasn't like it was 1991 or so, it was 2000. In the beginning of us just not caring anymore. Things changing, the way we interaction, social media, we stopped being social.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't nobody want to be social anymore.
But social media is still social. Don't forget that.
It's a social, it's a social construct.
We here on this.
Right. We're here on social media right now. Right. And we're talking to people, but you know, like.
Listen, if you see me on the street, please don't be afraid to approach me. I will not bite.
I got her punching you in the throat.
You gonna punch me in the throat?
No, I got you punching somebody in the throat.
No, I'm not punching nobody in the throat. Okay. It's all love. I give hugs. So if you see me on the street, I give hugs.
So explain your brand. I am.
So I am.
I'm saying
now, most people always say, oh, it's the biblical term, the godly term. If you want to associate it with that, you can. You know what I mean? Because it still comes back full circle. But when I decided to say, this is what I want, I thought about taking ownership for you. Taking ownership of your life. Accepting everything that happened to you in the past and accepting everything that's going to happen in your future. Understanding that if you accept all of you, then no one else can ever use your flaws against you. Then not only that, knowing that I am are two powerful words, anything that you put behind it can shape your reality in a good or a bad way because it's power in the tongue, right? So basically, if I say I am brave enough to accomplish all things, and I say it with some authority and I mean it, then I'm going to accomplish all things, everything that I want to. But if I say that I can't accomplish anything, that I'm worthless, then guess what? That's the approach that I'm going to take in life. And I'm never going to be able to reach my peak or reach my climax in life because that's what I affirmed over my reality.
Right.
So, like I said, we here on this beautiful Thursday, Stimulating Minds, helping you reach your climax in life. And we basically want to hear from you guys. Do y'all have anything to say? Comment, let us know how you feeling. Let us know if you enjoyed us talking about networking.
Right.
Do you feel like a part of networking is going to be beneficial to your growth, your development, your life?
I think it is. I see Rebel Foster was on here. He's a DJ. So any DJs, networking is important, right? To sit down and figure out ways to share music and new techniques, new equipment, right? These are things that are necessary for anybody in business. You know what I mean? So networking to me, right, is something that I'm just now learning. I'm going to a conference or a convention in April, for people that do what I do. I got to be around those types of people.
Yeah.
I can't think I'm going to be in a room full of people that just do whatever and think we're going to be able to grow. I got to go around, learn new techniques, learn new equipment and things like that. So I got to go network, but I got to go away to network. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to spend a couple hours on that and get out there and learn some new things and bring some things back home.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. You go out, bring some things back home, bring some things back in. So networking is extremely important.
Oh wow, I'm at work.
Let me shut my office door. Don't pay Dante no mind. That's my brother, man, from another mother. He stay on the live. He keep it interesting. And he heard climax and said,
and so he was like, oh
right.
shoot, what's going on
then
here?
He done text me and said, who that?
Listen, I know we make networking sound so easy. Trust me. It's not as easy as we make it sound, but it's definitely worth getting out there, putting your best foot forward. Everyone won't, be on board with your vision, won't be on board with what you want to do, but it's okay. Just know that no just means new opportunity. You can't stop at your first no. You can't stop at the second no. You can't stop at any no. If you really want it, push the door down, get what you need, and network with people that are like-minded and that want the same things as you, and then people who are above you, who have reached a level in their life of where you want to be, and ask them, how do I get here?
And listen, networking isn't just popular because it was a part of a song, right? When Drake said it.
Networking is just the way to life.
Networking is truly the way to life, man. We were in kindergarten and we networked.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't know making new friends was networking.
Yep.
Right? You have play dates, that's networking. Right? And when we're younger, it's like our parents are teaching us the way that you should act as adults. You shouldn't be over here in the corner thinking you're the only person that knows how to do what you need to do. You need to be asking other people if they know how to do it, and then find out if you even need to be in that room. Because we failed the network, I failed the network for a long time and just thought that the people that I grew up around were the people I was supposed to hang around every day. That wasn't beneficial for the person that I truly was. I had to move into other rooms and meet new people. I thank God for going to Crown Fried Chicken and running into Tommy and Purple Queen, networking with them and going to their radio station and sitting down and seeing that it was, damn, this is something that I want to do.
Purple Queen in Philly?
Yeah.
Philly? I just met her.
You just met her?
Yep,
She's
I
from
just met
Chester.
her.
She's
Oh, I
from
didn't know
Chester. They
that.
had the radio station right there on 23rd Street. Go over there. And I'm in there and I watch a Maserati Brand and T. Kane do their show. And I'm like, yo, damn. Sat down with them, networking with them. Shit, running into Chuck V, networking with him, where CMP was able to be founded and funded and started. You know what I'm saying? So networking is extremely important, bro.
Telling you, if you're sitting in the house by yourself, not doing nothing,
it would have never happened.
You better get out here and network.
It would have never happened. So networking birthed CMP. Networking will continue to fuel CMP. We got a meeting tomorrow up Philly. This is networking. New people, new ventures, new situations, right? But you can't do that unless you're willing to grow. And I say it all the time, growth is the most important thing about progress. You won't notice it. You won't notice your progress if you're not growing. You said when we played catch.
That was networking.
Girl, we were networking.
When we played catch a girl, get a girl, we were networking.
I mean, we really were. We were. I mean, it was probably the wrong type of networking. But you think about it right now. If you were to run into one of those young ladies and she was doing something positive and she was moving in the direction, she would have a familiarity with you. You know what I'm saying? So you sowed the seeds for networking. Right? If y'all bumped into each other, they'd be like, oh, hey, remember when we used to? You can have a drink, sit down, and she can say, yeah, well, listen, Pierre, I started a radio station over here. We got this. Let's merge. Let's do some things together. Like, absolutely. Because we're comfortable with each other. You also have to understand that just because you don't know the person don't mean the person can't help grow your brain. Or you can't never, I don't know them personally, I don't fool with this, I only fool no new friends. Well, whoever came up with that no new friends situation was lying because they had a bunch of new friends. They walk in the room, whatever rapper said it.
I think Drake said it.
Whatever rapper said it.
But I don't think that he was saying it in the way that everyone took it.
How was he saying it then?
So I think, like, okay, so it's levels to how you deal with people in your life.
Right.
Everyone is not measured on the same scale.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I was just, when he said no new friends, no friends, no, whatever, I just screwed that up. But when he said that, I don't think that he meant like no people in your circle. I think he meant on a sense of no new friends if they're going to bring negative vibes.
Okay. All right.
Negative energy. If they're not, evolving with me, if they're not here for us to win, then you can't intertwine in the village.
I can rock with that. Right?
So,
but then people took it wrong, right? Because they didn't look for the understanding. They didn't seek to understand, then to be understood.
I think you gotta listen to the whole song and just put everything together. You can't just listen to one lyric and
some people listening to is one lyric. No new friends. No new friends. no new friends. And then
listen, this is a relationship right here, okay?
Right.
So let me just say thank you. Before we even talk about Drake, let me say thank you to this relationship. Because our relationships aren't intimate. If you know anyone that is a relationship, whether it's your cousin, your mom, your brother, your uncle, the dude that you was dealing with.
That's intimate.
Oh, I'm
Tell
sorry.
her, Dante.
But this is a relationship, and the only way that this relationship was formed was because of networking. And I do want to say thank you because when I came out and put myself out there to tell my story, to say I am Ranisha C, and to be like, I'm going to motivate you, I didn't realize that it will open up so many different areas of my life. I would have never thought that I would be sitting here doing a segment with anyone on any station. You know what I mean? I had a one-dimensional mind when I first started, and now my mind has opened up to so many opportunities. It was just like, okay, you're going to go out here and motivate people, but motivating people comes with all these different areas, these different directions. And I just want to say thank you for the relationship that we have. Thank you for networking with me. Thank you for bringing me on board. And I just had to get that out there.
And that's good, right? And I think that's another thing you have to be able to acknowledge the things that have been done with you and for you. Right, so I thank you for coming up here, right? Because I'm sitting next to someone who has experience in motivational speaking, so I get to steal something from you. And I think that's another thing the radio station has given me.
I wouldn't call it steal.
Talk to good people.
We just exchanging.
I'm knowledge jacking. I'm knowledge jacking, talking to good people, right? Wanting to be Uncle P, right? And understanding that passion drives purpose. I want everybody to understand, right? Whatever you feel like your purpose is, whatever you feel like you want to do, you got to have some passion behind it. You got to care about it. You got to think about it every day. It got to keep you up at night. You got to write about it. You got to talk to people. Every time you talk to somebody, you got to be talking about it. Somebody got to, if nobody's telling you, man, I'm tired of hearing about the radio station. I'm tired of hearing about.
You ain't talking about it enough.
Right, you ain't talking about it enough. I'm tired of hearing about this shoe cleaner that you done invented. I'm trying, bro, you got to talk about it, right? Because the universe tends to reward you for being consistent.
Yes, consistency is key.
Consistency is key. Wouldn't nobody care about CMPRADIO.net if we wasn't up here every day doing something?
If you would have stopped back when you felt like you reached the roadblock?
Man, listen, if I would have just rolled under and went back to work or went back to doing whatever I was doing before, so consistency is key. You gotta put the work in if you seek to reap the rewards. It's just that simple. You can't go to the bank without opening a bank account and putting money in there and use your ATM card. I don't know nobody that can do that. And if you know somebody that can do that, tell them to give me a call.
So you can't do what?
Use your
you gotta
ATM.
use your ATM card?
You can't go in the bank and do anything. You can't go in the bank and make a withdrawal if you ain't never put no money in. Open up an account.
Oh, I thought you was about to say without your. I'm about to say you can make a withdrawal without your ATM.
No, you can't make a withdrawal on your life without putting the work in. Is that better?
True.
If you ain't put the work in, you can't make a withdrawal.
You can't make a withdrawal.
And if you can make
You're
a
not
withdrawal,
no benefits.
call me because I need some benefits.
You need to know.
I need some benefits. I need some workless benefits. I just want everybody to grind out there, man. I want everybody to reach their full potential in life. And sometimes somebody got to tell you, stand the fuck up. Sometimes somebody got to say, yo, get the fuck over that shit.
Listen.
And that's how I'm coming
Ain't
at
no use of crying over spilled milk. Ain't nobody coming to save you. You got to save yourself. So you got to put the work out there. You know?
Right.
That's it.
And if you got to walk away from some people, everybody say all the time, yo, P.
That's okay.
You're always by yourself. I seen a post today that was crazy. Shout out to Wallow. He did a video and he was like, yo, I'm always with this bull, man. I stay with this bull. And I've been saying this since I came home from jail.
And yourself.
And it's me. I say, yo, you see me, I'll be with my homie, man. He don't say nothing. I ain't got to worry about him doing nothing stupid. I ain't got to worry about no beef. He hop in the car. We had the best conversations. We ride down the road. We laugh at the same jokes.
Shout out to Wallow.
You feel me? Like, and I look over and my man like, who you talking about? Him. Nobody. Listen. Nobody at all. So.
Hey!
I need to hear this from both of y'all.
Oh, see?
You're choking up.
See? We won't get choked, but it's okay. Now, as we promised, we're going to cut you off.
Walking into the show. I had to give y'all
Definitely going to cuss you out.
As we promised, we're definitely going to give you a midweek happy ending.
Look at my face. Did you see my face, though? Oh.
She definitely choked us.
She choked both of them. Right.
It's okay. Listen, you going to top them off with the midweek happy ending?
No, it's your turn.
Oh, it's my turn?
You got the first one.
I got the first one.
Got the
Oh, shoot. So for the last 2 minutes of this show,
she going to give you a happy ending.
give you a happy ending.
So
So basically what the midweek happy ending is a recap of the entire show. So today we talked about networking and how networking is the key to success for you to elevate, for you to take the next step to reach the highest potential in your journey. So never stop networking. Keep putting yourself out there. Keep talking about yourself. Keep investing in yourself. And those people that want to be there with you and help you along the way, they will. Do not turn down the help. Do not turn down the assistance. You will need that to reach your next level, to reach the next level of your life. So, again, that midweek happy ending is network. Because networking is going to equal your net worth.
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go.
CMPRADIO.net. We want to thank y'all for tuning in, man. Again, Stimulating Thursdays. We're going to do this every Thursday?
Every Thursday
from 1 to 2. We're going to touch on a variety of different topics, man. We want y'all to reach back and give us your insights or your opinions. And if you got a topic you want to see us discuss, man, hit us up. info@cmpradio.net, Stimulating Thursdays.
And don't forget to share.
Yeah,
that's a part of networking.
Share the live.
Share.
Share the live, comment, like the page, follow the page, all that good stuff. This will also be going up to YouTube today. It'll be there. So if you want to rewatch it on YouTube, you can do that. Man, it's Uncle P. It's Nee.
And it's Nee.
And it's Stimulating
Thursday.
We love y'all, man. Be safe out there. And remember, man, every day a star is born, man. Let's go.
Hey, hey. I think we